We've not done one of these in a while, so I'm recapping all three trades taken this week. Sorry, I didn't go long today. I went short and lost. Just because they've all been losses, and I want to talk about how I deal with a losing streak, and what I think of it, and sort of my mindset around it. So, yeah, let's start the first day. The first day, of the week, which was Monday, we took a loss that was a bit harsh in the sense of we were right biased and whatnot, just prices a bit choppy prior to sort of going in our direction. In hindsight now, what could I have done to make this better? First of all, for the structure of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about each individual trade, talk about what I could have done better to prevent these losses. Then at the end, I'm going to talk about my whole mindset around losses in general, just with the hopes of helping you guys. So, what could I have done here to avoid this loss? So, I've reviewed this loss now maybe 3 or probably 4 times. I think this is the 4th. And I've come to the conclusion that I should have placed my stop loss under this order block and gave myself an extra confluence of wiggle room. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Because look, I end up thinking it was this order block that did it. So, I'll explain what I mean. In the sense of, we did have like a sort of mini sweep. We like mini sweeps that come especially like from pre-market lows. They're usually good for us. And it was inside of a 15-minute fair value gap. We were cool. But we entered off of those two confluences. And what we usually do, I say we in terms of me and the people who take the same trades as me in the Telegram, is our stops usually have a buffer zone of an extra confluence. Meaning that if this imbalance and sort of this liquidity sweep fail and we are incorrect on them, we still have this order block here in this example to protect us, So that's what I should have done. Sorry, get these adverts out of the way. That's what I should have done. Okay? That is really what I should have done. Let me get this out of the way now. So, my stop should have been here. Now, I know what you're thinking. That gives me a worse risk to reward. If my stop was there, it means that if we look at the risk to reward here of 1.43, I would have probably, as I'm trying to use less take profits these days, I probably would have went for 1 take profit, and it wouldn't have been this high. It probably would have been this order block here. If I'm being realistic, it would have been there for 2.13, and I would have been happy with that. And we would have won. That's sort of what I've learned here. I would have had a smaller sort of second take profit, and I would have just used 1, and I would have taken off this order block, the start of it. Yeah, and that would have won, because obviously the extra confluence here of this order block would have saved me in this case. And that's what I've learned, is to even if you have sort of a setup that you really like, is to use that extra confluence as like a buffer zone. Okay, so let's talk about the next day, the next loss. This was the next loss. Okay, this loss feels a bit harsh just due to the fact that if we look, we swept this low and this low into a daily fair value gap. That's what this is. If I'll zoom out and make it easier to see. This low and this low have both been swept. This is like your major low that's been swept, minor low being swept. Still like a reasonably sized swing low this. This is a daily fair value gap. Super bullish. Okay? Super bullish. Right. So what do we get? We come down into here that created the breaker structure. It created the liquidity sweep break structure. This order block and breaker block combo. Pulled it across. In my opinion, this was an elite setup. Elite. I targeted sort of this high here that started this 15-minute imbalance. Prior to this 15-minute imbalance, sorry. Just because it seemed like a reasonable place. Sorry, I have an alert there. Seemed like a very reasonable place for take profit. Good risk to reward, but not sort of over the top and ridiculous. 2.85 would be nice. It just wasn't to be. We ended up sort of playing off. This was like an imbalance on the hourly that ended up taking over. Obviously, I traded off the daily. In hindsight, what could I have done to make this a little better? Is I could have not traded such a dramatic drop as this. Obviously, this is a dramatic drop into this imbalance. Maybe if it was a more gradual decline. But saying that, last time we came into the daily imbalance, it was a similar sort of steep drop. If we look here, prior to the rally or to all-time highs. So I thought we were going to get something similar. So when I'm looking back on this, I'm like, would I take this trade again? Yeah, 1,000,000 times, and I would do nothing different. I just think this is just a loss. It's just the way probabilities work. Yeah, I've seen something that happened before. I got an A+ setup in line with it, and it just didn't go my way. Okay, today's trade. We had... I'll actually do it on the 5, just because this will be easier to see on the 5. Okay. This sort of area of accumulation here. We swept 1, 2 of these highs here in the pre-market. Following this sort of high high that swept these ones, these prior highs, we got a mega break structure to the downside. I was like, great, because obviously we tried to go bullish yesterday and price continued bearish, on bearish bias. We broke structure. We came back into it once, but I'm trying to enter after London Stock Exchange open at 8 AM now. So when London Stock Exchange open spiked into here, I was like, this is an excellent setup for a short. And I was targeting a daily order block. Stop loss was above the fair value gap, and it was a loss. It was bullish. Obviously, it was going for the setup that we wanted to take yesterday, and it worked today. But yeah, those are the 3 losses. And what I could have done better on the third one was, I don't know, probably waited another... If I waited like another 3 or 4 minutes, literally just 3 or 4 minutes prior to entering, I would have seen that there was a bullish setup sort of contradicting my bias, and I probably wouldn't have traded UK 100 today. That would have probably been the best bet for me, was to not trade. Obviously in hindsight. So again, it's just sort of decisions. But yeah, how am I dealing with these? That was obviously a loss, because my stop loss was like here or something. Alright, looking at these 3 losses, how am I sort of dealing with it mentally? And the answer is piss easy. So the reason why I'm finding it pretty easy to deal with mentally is that I've had many of these losing streaks before. A 3 trade losing streak is literally nothing in sort of the grand scheme of things. It's only something when you view it on the day by day. When you view it on the day by day, and you only worry about, when in trading, you only worry about the day of now and the profit loss of today, it does feel like heavy loss. And then if you get that 3 times in a row, it feels triple as heavy. So yeah, of course, you're going to mentally struggle if it's like that. But if you view things in a year time frame, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years, how many, and over the next 5 years, how many 3 trade losing streaks do you think you're going to have? The answer is a lot. So if you can't handle it now, then how are you going to handle it in 4 years' time? You're not. So the key is to just stop viewing things on a... The key is to control your actions on a day-to-day basis, but to view the outcomes of those actions on a multi-year time frame. What do I mean by that? I mean by every day you just do your best, okay? But you do not worry about your outcome. Okay, you only worry about your inputs. And when the outcomes that you see, you don't worry about the today outcomes. You worry about the 5-year outcome. Okay? So on the daily, sort of, if you're on, let's talk about it in trading time frame. Most people view life on the daily time frame. Or let's even talk about it in here. Most people view life on the 1 minute time frame. Most traders. Okay? So on the 1 minute time frame, here, it looked like we were in a mega downtrend. Alright? So this is like when you're on the 3 trade losing streaks, It's not you've missed a couple of days at the gym, you're not feeling too good about yourself. 3 trade, this is like your 3 trade losing streaks again. You're not winning trades, you're losing a lot. You're struggling to cope with it. All your friends are winning at stuff and you're sitting here losing. But when you zoom out, the day on the daily time frame is super bullish. Daily time frame is super bullish. Okay? All it is just a dip to go higher. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. Is that you focus on what you can do on the daily. Get that up here, just so it's out of the way. You focus on what you can do on the 1 minute time frame, as in you make every minute as good as you can. Every minute won't be good. Like there will be times that you lose. Like even when you're going up, there will be bad minutes where you lose focus, minutes where you make mistakes. But if you have more good minutes than bad minutes, not over the course of one day, but over the course of years, you will be absolutely fine and you will do very well. Okay, it's just most people struggle to view things in years. Okay, and instead of viewing things in years, they view things in days. Okay, so that's why I'm always pretty chilled about losses, just because I understand that again in trading terms, if you want to think about it in trading terms, that it's just a retracement for you to go higher. Okay, sometimes you gotta sweep lows to go higher, you know. So yeah, that's just the way it goes. That's the way it goes in life. So that's how I'm dealing with lows. Sort of these losses just now. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm just back in the lab, is what it is. It's back to testing out on back testing. I know some people don't like back testing, but I love it. I love it in the sense of today I now get to go and do 70 trades. Not obviously live, back tested on FX. I'm using FX Replay now and MTJ. It's my trader journey. I'm using these two softwares just to obviously support me in that, but it just allows me to go take 1,000 trades today over the next few weeks, while everyone else is just taking 20 over the next few weeks. So I'm doing 40 times the output of everyone, and that's what it's all about. Especially in my head, it's that if I just work obscenely hard and do 100 times more than everyone, 5 years from now I'm going to have 100 times results. But those results in 5 years don't come unless I only focus on my input today. So for me, my input today is, while everyone else is taking 1 trade today or 2 trades today or 3 trades today, I'm on FX Replay, I'm on my trader journey, I'm taking 100 back tested trades. I'm taking as many as I possibly can of the same setup on UK 100. And I'm trying to win as many as I can. And then I'm gonna try and lose as much as possible. Just in a sense, so not so my win rate's bad. Obviously, I'm still going to try and have it over 70% win rate is what I'm aiming for. But every time I lose, I'm just going to make a little adjustment. I lose, I make a little adjustment. I lose, I make a little adjustment. And if I do that for long enough, I know I will succeed. So that is the game plan. Is I'm just going to try and lose as much as possible over the next few hours to make adjustments. And then tomorrow, Friday, Monday, we're going to come out ready to roll. And if I lose again tomorrow, so be it. If it's a 4 trade losing streak, so be it. Again, I'm not thinking about the day to day, I'm thinking about the year to year. And how arrogant would I be to think that I would never have a 4 trade losing streak? I would be so arrogant and so ignorant and useless in truth. If you think you're never going to have a 4 trade losing streak and you want to trade for a long time and make a lot of money, you're useless, because that is so normal. So that is the game plan for me. I'm just going to do a Kobe. I'm just going to work 3 times when everyone else is barely working once, and I'm going to try and get back to winning ways. That's the way it goes, really. All right. I hope this sort of video helped people. The update now: we are still in profit on the 5k account. We are just in about I would say 1.8 or 1.9%. I'll need to double check and sign it in the new and improved free education group, which is now in the description of this video. And yeah, so we're still in profit, so there's definitely nothing to panic about, but it's just I expect better from myself, so it's time to get back in the lab and back to work and get out working, everyone. Right, so thank you again. I hope this sort of helped you all, and I will see you all next time.